My name is Tony Avalon. I am the founder and investigator with M.A.P.P, the Mid-Atlantic Paranormal Project. Today is the Paranormal Town Hall. To orb or not to orb, we're trying to either validate or debunk orbs, if they should be used or counted as evidence. With me, we'll start off with Keijo. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sorry, I had to unmute there. Hi, I'm Keijo, and I have been with the M.A.P.P team, I guess we're going on 4 years now? 4 years, I guess, yeah. And investigator, and definitely not the techie person, usually the one that does some research on the places.
Sounds good. And Shane?
I'm Shane. I am the techie person. I love tech, and I've been with the M.A.P.P team for 3 years.
Okay. Ike?
I'm Ike with M.A.P.P, I'll be able to talk here in a minute, Mid-Atlantic Paranormal Investigations, and I've been there, I guess, 7 or 8 years.
Okay. And Marvin, can you give us a little brief summary about yourself?
I'm kind of an amateur in all of this, part skeptic, part believer sort of thing. I'm just fascinated by it, and then only in the last couple of years I've been trying to take more proactive approaches and learning more and being active, participating in a lot of this to learn more, to kind of get off the fence, the sort of kind of believer, kind of sort of not, you know what I mean?
Yep, exactly.
And yeah, so here I am.
Yeah, we all say we're skeptics until you find that one piece of evidence that blows your mind, but then you go to the next investigation and you become a skeptic again. But yeah, know exactly where you're coming from.
Good to know. Good to know. I'm in good company. It's good.
But thank you very much for joining us. I do appreciate it. So we look forward to hearing some of your feedback of some of the things we're going to be showing. Okay. So again, we're going to be talking about orbs. People call them dust particles, bugs, pollen. Some say spirits, some say fairies, some say angels. There's a lot of theories out there, and a lot of people have very strong beliefs about what orbs are. I know that we were very skeptic about posting orbs in the very beginning, but too many of the patterns and being able to see through them or see maybe even a face in them, brought too much question. So we started posting them, trying to get feedback from other people. Love to hear feedback from other teams. So we're going to actually go through some that we have of our own and a few that were submitted to us to present, and we can talk through them and give our opinion about them. Does anybody have any questions before we start going through some of the footage? Okay. First one I'm going to go ahead and play. Let me go ahead and share my screen first. I think that may help. Let me know if this works. Okay. Okay, everybody see my mouse dancing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first one is in a bed and breakfast. It's an inn off of the, I believe it's the Sassafras River. Am I correct, Keijo?
You're correct. Sorry.
Okay. You're fine. So we're in what we call the captain's room. It's a room where we believe a young boy resides looking for his father to come in on the ships. But again, this is our first, the first orb that we ever published. Over here in the corner. So that right there, I mean, again, let's see if I can actually bring it up on the screen and pause it. It comes out here And then by the time it gets to the door, it just disappears. It doesn't, you don't see it go off to the side, up or down. It just disappears completely. Goes here and boom, gone. And it's just replaying it over and over again. So what are some of your thoughts? What do you think?
Well, being in that room, I mean, the first thing we always check is the ventilation. We try to look for a pattern. You know, well, everybody on our team watches these videos over and over and over again. So one of the things I think we all look at is, does there seem to be some sort of standard pattern throughout the night where if it is dust, is it all following the same jet stream per se going into that room? And I can honestly say I don't recall too many pieces of dust, or this was a really unique pattern to that a piece of evidence, and I think that's why we posted it. Well, we started that, but it just seemed unique, and I think that's why we did that. I don't know what others think.
And I think, was this not the first time we ever used DVR cams?
Could be.
Yeah,
It could have been.
Yeah,
I think we posted it too because, like, dust you normally see falling down, and because it didn't just fall down, it kind of hovered and turned and then disappeared. That's why we noticed it.
Yep. And if it was a bug, you would have seen it escape somewhere. So yeah, this is, like I said, we would never post until this one video, and we thought this was you know, worth showing and sharing with everybody.
If I may just add in one simple thing from a layman, such as myself, compared to you guys. Yeah, definitely, I agree. It's not dust. Dust doesn't go left to right. It goes up to down.
Yep.
I mean, for the most part, unless there's a strong wind or something that's blowing, and then you wouldn't see one little speck. I agree with that.
Yep.
However, as far as the bug is concerned, I was thinking when the orb or whatever came into shop, by the time it hit around part of the door, it kind of faded in with the color of the door. So I was just wondering, well, if it came in an angle, why couldn't it have moved an angle toward the door? And then to us, it looks like it disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, maybe it just took a different trajectory because it changed trajectory really quick. One time, it could do it again. And maybe it was just a bug. Granted, I haven't seen the whole video, so I don't know if maybe it reappears later, you know, down the way, or I don't know. But I also agree that I'm the type of person, I do look for patterns. If it's a pattern, if it's an intelligent pattern, all right, it's not a bug. Bugs aren't that smart.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I'm a little split on this, but I'm just my modest opinion. I think it's a bug of some kind or something, and it just went somewhere that our eyes didn't focus on.
Okay. Ike, did you want to say anything, or you want to go to the next video?
We can look at the next one. Yeah, that's a tough call.
Okay.
Dust does float level.
Okay.
That's hard to tell. Could have just been close to your camera, then moved away.
Mm-hmm. This one, I believe, is very quick and floats up. I will play that one again. Yep. That one right there was part of a house in, I believe it's Newport, Delaware. It's a historic house. The caretaker of the home allowed us in there. This is one of the spare guest rooms. And we just happened to put, I believe this was a handheld camera. Am I correct? Was it one of the DVRs, or?
Yeah, this was actually a room that no one had ever caught anything in or had any experiences in. And we put something in there and just said, well, let's just see what we catch. And I got to tell you, I think it was the most active room of the night. We actually captured an EVP of a little girl.
That's right.
Who's there?
That's right. I remember that. What about that?
This was, you know, one of the things I always state to people is, don't be fooled by the room. Just because a room has a weight bench in it or is empty or whatever, don't be fooled by that. Put something in there. You know, I mean, if you don't have a lot of equipment, then definitely don't focus on it. But if you do, throw something in there because you never know what you're going to get. And this was a big bonus in this investigation. And as you can see, that is a really solid something.
Mm-hmm.
Was this at Jane's?
Yes. Yes. Yep. I believe this is the first time we were there.
I think so too, and I do believe it was a DVR camera. You can see the cord going under the door.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. Good call. Yep.
Looks like it was close to a window.
Yeah, there is a window right there. There is
Not that I'm saying it came out of it, because you can definitely see it's coming straight up,
Mm-hmm.
and the window's got nothing to do with it. I was just.
It's an older house, so there is no AC units. There's no window units in here. No
You
vents.
can tell by the heat of the radiator right there.
Right.
That's, yeah.
You know what? It could be that, but again, this is one that we watched. I mean, we usually run the camera for 4 hours minimum, and the whole 4 hours there was nothing except stuff like this. And again, patterns. If we see like sometimes we'll go into buildings where you can see a pattern of dust and the way that it is coming either at you or away from you. And this was just really bizarre. It seemed to have kind of a, you know, its own path that it was creating. So
Usually when there's dust, it's not just one single piece that's really round either. We have shaken curtains before and seen like dust just fly out of the curtains, and it's very obviously dust. And this is just more circular and, you know, round.
Can also occur due to obesity or hepatitis C.
We have a new attendee, Mike Reynolds. Hello, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay. We just went over a couple of clips. This is our second clip we just went through. We're looking at orbs. So, Mike, real quickly, can you just give a brief introduction about yourself, where you're from, what your interests are in paranormal?
Okay, my name is Michael Reynolds, and I'm from Dover. Been in Dover my whole life, but now I moved to Middletown the last couple of years. I am interested in paranormal because I believe in, you know, there's spirits, there's energy. I have seen shadow figures before in the past, and I just want to get to know more and get, you know, involved with being with the supernatural.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you, Mike, for joining us. So we're going to go ahead and go on to our next clip. Any more thoughts on this one clip, guys, before I go on? Okay. Next one is also the same location, and this time we're going to be in a bedroom. It's a crowded room with everybody came to the investigation. You see a lot of them coming through. And we are in the dark. Is the camera light
My first meeting is still
is the camera light is what's illuminating the room right now, but we are completely in the dark. There was a lot of claims of activity in this room. I'm not too sure if we ever caught anything other than orbs in this room. I think even the second time we went back, we caught other orbs. Okay. I'm gonna mute it, but I'm gonna go ahead and let it play again while we talk. But again, there's a whole bunch of them. You could say they're dancing. You could say that's dust blowing everywhere because they are all over the place. These are one of the ones I'm going to be very skeptic about. I'm not holding too much, I guess, stock that this is something actually happening. Shane or KJ, you guys want to, if you guys remember this night,
Oh yeah.
this is a cute guy over here. See? Yeah. Anyway, any thoughts you guys, anything
Well,
that we had from there?
there's a lot of people that were there too, and we're sitting on this rug. And so, yeah, it definitely could be dust. There's also a bed in there that we sat down on.
Right.
You can see a rocking chair over in the corner that had a bunch of pillows on it. So, I mean, it could go either way.
Right. And there is a window over behind here. There is a window, which may be the source for a lot of the stuff. I know this was a guest room. So again, I don't know when the last time someone's been there, so it could have been dusty. Yeah. Again, it's questionable.
I agree with so many people. The more people I would think that's in one spot, the more chances that something can be compromised, or you just don't know all the different variables that comes with each person.
Right.
Comes in the room. Plus you got a dog. Plus you got sofas, rugs, all this other stuff.
Right.
There's just no way to discount it.
Right. Exactly.
We don't normally investigate with that many people, but the homeowner had some friends that she wanted to be part of this, and you have to respect the homeowner because they're letting us come into their home to investigate,
Right.
and she wanted some of her friends there.
Yeah, I think what this was is because one of the conditions for her to be renovating the house, because again, it is a historic location, and she's living there to take care of the place. That's what her full-time job is. She has to have 2 public events a year, and she chose us to be her public event at that time. So that's, she did invite her friends to come, but again, that's why there's so many people there, because yeah, we normally do not have that many people.
Were most of you guys there during this video?
Yes, I'm here. I believe
I'm on the floor.
You're on the floor, and I believe Ken is always over here to the right. So
Yeah, I usually go away from the people because I don't want all that energy to muddle me up. I just feel like I need to separate. So I usually go to the opposite corner where all the people are. But the 3 of us were there that night.
Yes. Yep. Yep. So I do know that once we publish this, I went through my camera roll. I didn't pick up any orbs on the camera. It did have a flash on it. You would think that the flash would have picked up orbs, but none of my pictures picked up any orbs on the camera. So again, that doesn't disprove or prove anything. But we do see it during the video. And again, the video is using IR light. My camera was not. If that has any I don't know, proof behind it. Okay, I'm gonna go to the same house as the last one for this house coming up now. This is a game room. It's pretty much up in the attic. That was quick. Again, you would think up in the attic, you would see a lot more, but I only saw the 1 or 2. One's going down, the other one's shooting up. Not sure. Okay, it's a long clip, but it's only this short. You'll see if I can actually stop it right when it comes. It's too quick for me. There it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, really right. There it is. Very faint. I don't know if you're able to see this on your device right now. It's see-through. A lot of people say stuff like this, if it's see-through, has something behind it. Again, attic, you would think there'd be a lot more. Just to see 1 or 2 go by. I'm not convinced it's not the same thing that went this way and come back up again. Anybody else have any other thoughts?
I was just going to ask a question.
Sure.
I don't, maybe this is more of a theoretical question.
Go for it.
For the true orbs out there, they would not necessarily all be the same illumination, correct? They would be, what would define or what would make it to be different brightness, different dullness? Would it be the energy it's drawing off of? Would it be just simply the form itself?
I think if we had the answer to that, we'd all be rich, because that's kind of the $1 million question. We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But with the lighting itself, the way the light hits it determines how it comes out. Also, the size and shapes. You're going to see one coming up soon that the size is not like most orbs that you see. You know, most orbs are oval or circular, but you know, you'll see some different shaped ones. Ike's going to show us some photos that I have here that he sent us that are clearly visible. So yeah, anything could determine. And again, we don't know what forms the orbs.
We don't
They
know.
are spirits. We don't know what forms it.
I was just going to add one more thing. If I could. I noticed that this is a very dusty place. I mean, look at the table and that little end table thing and the floor down there.
Definitely.
Very dusty place. Although I'm not inclined to think that this particular thing is. But again, the room seems to be very dusty.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And it's the attic, so as you said, it is the attic.
Right. But again, and that's what's everything's puzzling, is because you will see a lot more. We've done attics before, basements, and it's showering, and you automatically roll it out as being dust. We did a investigation. I believe it was either Fredericksburg or that small town in Maryland recently, where K. Joe was going through all the evidence and everything she pointed out. Oh, here's some more orbs. We had 3 or 4 folders full of just orbs, and we just stopped counting them because we just automatically wrote out it had to be dust for it to be that many.
Ellesmere was like that. Ellesmere had a lot of orbs.
Yeah,
And
we're going to hit a couple of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Sudlersville. I couldn't remember if it was Sudlersville or if it was the one in Frederick, because I know Frederick, you had the curtains that were really dusty.
Yeah.
And we couldn't use any of that footage because of that. Yeah. So here is the next one. This right here was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just a general question. Whenever we see orbs, or be it dust or whatever, does anybody go back and try to recreate that situation? Try to recreate those orbs, or those dust, or whatever.
I think that's a great question. Sometimes we do have folks monitoring the DVR cameras, and when we do see orbs that seem to be either unique or following a pattern, we try to go into the room while the person's monitoring the DVR system, and we try to replicate it or debunk it. Sometimes it's a very logical explanation of it seems to be coming from this direction. Oh, well, that makes sense because there's a vent over here. Or as some folks have already pointed out tonight, we had one that looked like it was snowing and we couldn't figure out what it was. And every time the vent turned on, it blew against the curtains, and the curtains were just full of dust. So yeah, we definitely try to debunk it as much as we possibly can. Sometimes folks have been generous enough to let us come into their homes. We don't have the kind of budget like most of people on TV where we can tell them to get lost for a week, and we've got the full reign of the house to where we can go back in and try to recreate things. We have been fortunate on some places where we have gotten back in, and we tried to figure out on some of either an orb, or we actually had a shadow person as well. And we try to replicate it to try to figure out how, with the camera shots, how could this have happened, or what. So yeah, we definitely, I think, try to do that as a team. Like we mentioned at the very beginning, I think we're all skeptical in a way, trying to really, we have a lot of equipment. So we are looking at this as in every possible way that we can to try to figure out if it's fake or actual fact. So, and as we also pointed out, we throw out a lot of these orbs because, as Joe mentioned, there was one place that just had so many. It was like, okay, this is ridiculous. No more orbs. We're done. We've hit our quota. I think at 10, and actually it was a lot more than that. Poor Joe was marking every orb she found, and it was just, there was too many. And at that point, we just said that the place was just full of dust.
Isn't that one of the most frustrating things about these situations is you don't really see it in the then and there for the most part. You only see it after the fact. Because if you saw it then and there, I'm sure there'd be different courses of action you would take, like maybe try to engage it or follow it or something.
Yeah.
We do. If we're looking at the camera, we look at on the DVR camera, we usually have 8 or 9 cameras going. So we will look, and if we see a lot of orbs in a particular room, we will go to that room and spend more time and ask more questions and spend time trying to find out if there's vents and AC or heat coming on, that sort of thing.
It is frustrating though.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, you want to run into the devil himself, but unfortunately, it's the AC HVAC devil that's come to visit us in most cases.
Yeah. Okay. The next video I'm going to show was actually submitted to us by a friend of mine. It's a security camera outside of his parents' home. They had activity that weekend or maybe the following weekend afterwards, but ever since then they say that they haven't had any other activity. Again, this is outside. You would think it's a bug, but wait till you see the pattern and the motion. And there's also something else hidden in the video.
Don't tell them. Let's see if anybody sees it.
Okay.
Like Easter eggs.
Tony's like a kid at Christmas.
Yes. Again, I'm going to get him started again. So you can tell that there was a motion, there was a motion sensor with the camera. So once it got to a certain level, it was able to be visible enough for that itself, that motion sensor. A lot of us use motion sensors at our investigations. So that doesn't, say that it had to be a bug or something else like that. But again, it's pretty large in size. There's no other ones in sight. So I'm gonna bring it back to about here. I went at mid screen. You can see through it. There's other things hidden in the video too. I'll point out after everybody gives me their opinion of what they see so far.
It's a pretty round ball.
Yeah.
And you can see that. Yeah.
Some would say that they actually see a face in that ball when it's at a certain position. I can't tell you if it was in the very top position or as it falls.
We can see a face behind the ball as it is right now.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yep, I see the face too. Yep.
So this actually is a really interesting video because it makes you think, and this is just, I don't know if this is an orb conversation or not, but you wonder, we always wonder if spirits can travel. And you wonder if there's spirits out traveling looking for a new place to live. And so this just kind of makes you kind of feel, be careful what you invite into your home. And this is why we say don't use Ouija boards. Because if things out there are traveling around looking for somebody that's wanting to be entertained, this might be one of those things floating around in the world outside your house, and you don't know it, and that you can invite in with the Ouija board.
I think spirits travel to other areas and such by way of a little round ball.
I don't know. I don't know. And but this is a really interesting video as far as like something set off that motion detector.
Yeah. I don't see the face.
Yeah,
though. I
bug
don't-
would set off
It's up in
the-
this
I
area
don't see
right
the
here.
face.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're using I don't know if you're using your phone or a tablet or a laptop.
Laptop.
Okay, so if you have full screen right now,
Film where the nose is, Tony.
I see a nose here. I see two eyes here and a nose right about here.
Oh, now see, I see it differently.
Okay,
Right by the sidewalk, I see the nose.
okay. I see another face here.
Over.
Mhm.
Now right there's the nose. Circle right there.
Okay.
Nope, down. Right there's the nose. Go up a
I
little
see the
bit.
face of a cat. I think. I don't know.
I
It
see
looks
the cat too.
See, I don't see the cat.
Where?
Right above the cursor. It's two eyes and the little pointy ears above the eyes.
Mhm.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Tony, back up the ball till it's up where you say the face is, because I think it's clearer when the orb is actually right just past it.
I'm gonna go from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see like a forehead and
Yep.
maybe.
Keep it going a little bit more.
But I also see a little
Now
trail
hit stop.
from the orb too. So I don't know if that's.
Okay, I want to show you something else now. Right about. Do me a favor. Look over here.
You saw flash.
I've seen it
I thought I saw that too, but I thought maybe it was just a light that I
flash.
had.
I blew this thing up 1,000 times, and it's creepy. I have to admit myself. Ah.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought maybe it was just one of those.
I think
Well,
that's
If I'm able to freeze it, it's the shape
Yeah,
of a
that's a
person.
good shot.
It's the shape of a person, is what I believe, but it
No, I
disappears.
think I know what that is. I think I know what that is.
What's that?
It's one of those power boxes that are in the middle of people's yards. And I think something flashed and flashed off of the reflection of it. Go back. Go back.
Ah,
See? It's still there. Whatever it is, it's still there.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think it's the shape of a person, but okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, this is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we do. It's
Yep. If I already out of the frame by then.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, but yeah, I see what you're saying. It is faint right there still.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna blow it up some more and see if we can lighten it a little bit more. Go back.
I see a shadow right before the light flashes, but it could be a shadow of anything, a car, a person.
Yep. Again, Shane's point. How is this little thing here setting off that alarm? A bug's own stuff, motion sensors. So at least I don't think I've never experienced a bug setting off a motion sensor before. I have a motion sensor light outside, and it doesn't go off every time a bug flies by it. So I can't explain this one. Ike, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, on that one, with the motion sensor, I think you got a good catch here. This one has something with, like, I don't accept orbs unless you have something with it, and you got
Mhm.
something with this one.
Okay.
You know what
This
I
was
mean?
actually submitted by Mike's son-in-law. This was Casey's, Mike.
Because it has, I mean, like you said, the motion sensor going off.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know what that light is on the corner either.
Right, yeah.
Could have been a flashlight, could have been somebody, but
This was actually, I don't know, was there time on here? I believe this is like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Which doesn't mean anything really.
yeah,
Yeah, the motion alarm is what really makes it even more interesting. I mean, it
So
could be
that's the one that, yeah.
And if you look at
With
it,
the
the
motion
camera's
sensor.
higher. And you would think the motion sensor would be the same level of the camera. The motion sensor would be the same level of the camera, but yet it doesn't pick it up until it drops below the view of motion of the camera.
yeah.
So that is puzzling because I'm picturing where the motion sensor would be at on that camera, and it should be equal to where the lens is, and for it to pick it up down here is, I don't know, it's puzzling.
Well, even if you thought it was a raindrop reflecting off the lens, why is the motion sensor going off? Why is the alarm going off?
Right.
And it doesn't go off until it gets to it. Like Keijo mentioned, it only goes off once it gets to a certain height, which is just so strange.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm just, again, this is not a public service announcement or anything, but we don't know what's out there in the world. We don't know how these things travel. But again, if you're inviting something in through a Ouija board or other methods, this could be something looking for a home. And, you know, all of a sudden now you got cabinets opening and stuff happening in your home, and you don't know what's happened. It was peaceful for so many years, and then all of a sudden it just all hell broke loose, and it could be something like this.
Yep.
That's definitely an interesting thing I've never considered before.
Right?
Definitely interesting.
No.
Okay. This one right here I'm going to show now is Shane's favorite. We're in a residential property in Ellesmere, Delaware. The property owner contacted us because she's been out of the house for several years, had the house up for sale, and always had a negative feeling in the house. And the house hasn't been selling. And she wanted some answers. She wanted to know if something was there that was stopping the house from selling. Needless to say, you know, we did a little smudging afterwards and a little cleansing afterwards with some sage, and the house sold about a week or two later after we left. So not saying that we had anything to do with it, but there may have been something, you know, behind it. But this right here happened at this house that we're talking about. Now, I will tell you, it's completely dark in that room. That is the IR light from the, I believe that was a handheld, right? Am I right, Shane?
That's a DVR camera.
Oh, is it? Okay. Trying to get Rachel to come closer.
All right, so all the orbs tonight, this one, and I don't know what everybody submitted, but this one, to me, without a doubt, is some sort of spiritual energy. I've seen it. I've seen things on TV, and not that that makes me, you know, makes this any more credible, but I've seen these things when people get touched on TV. And the way it flutters and moves around and undulates, it's just the most interesting orb we've ever caught. And Keijo, I think you caught this. It's one of my favorite orbs that we've ever caught. And I don't know if anybody has, well, I've only seen this one other time, and it was just recently at the Apollo. I was at the Apollo Theater and caught the same thing on my body cam. And I know for a fact that this house was 100% haunted. There was no doubt in my mind after leaving this house that night. But just seeing this in this room, just again, I think this is one of the best orbs we've ever caught.
In the very beginning, I was very skeptic. I kept thinking it was a grasshopper or a feather, but we're in that house. It is immaculate. I mean, it was completely empty because nobody lived there. But they kept it up. They kept it clean. And there were no bugs. We didn't find a grasshopper or a praying mantis anywhere. We didn't find a feather because I thought it could have been a feather flying in. I don't even think there was any airflow while we were there. But it definitely is something. I think when I try to do some research on this myself, they do have this shape, and it's listed as being unexplained. So yeah, there might be something. Again, I wasn't a believer in the very beginning when I first saw this thing. I kept saying, "Oh, you guys are crazy." You know, a cricket got in there while we were investigating. But after watching it and trying to find the same shape or imitate it, even doing a image search on Google, everywhere I came up, it said unexplained, same type of shape, type of thing. So, and for Shane to come across it recently at the Apollo, I think also has some type of strong proof behind it. So
I would like to think that it's a bug, but the glaring problem with that is if you notice, it doesn't, I mean, you don't see any wings flap. The whole thing remains exactly, see, it doesn't move within itself like if it was wings or whatever, like a circular orb. It doesn't move while it's moving, you know. It doesn't, that doesn't make sense, but I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't, it's not a bug.
and if you saw right there, it came out.
The same as it's traveling on through all these different loop-de-loops and such. It doesn't move. It's not fluttering. It's not nothing.
It's flowing with the air. Yeah, it's flowing. Yeah.
And then the fact that you saw identical thing over at the Apollo, that's, you know, that's freaking, you know, what's that? It's the same exact bug. It's going to do the same exact thing at the same exact time. And then I'm like, no way. No.
Yeah. Some of the things I found when I was searching this type of image, I was able to cut and paste it. And in Google, you're able to go do an image search. A couple of things that did pop up a lot was fairies. That's why I mentioned fairies in the very beginning. I don't know if I believe in fairies, but that was a lot of people's belief with that type of shape. I think it was what my 7-year-old called it right about here. I'll tell you right there, the image I cut and pasted. He called it an invisible cheese curl. It's the shape of a cheese curl. But that's the image I actually cut and pasted, and I put up on the Google image search. And again, unexplained. And the only other thing that was common thread was a fairy. And again, I don't know how I stand on fairies, just like Bigfoot and aliens. I just don't know.
Yeah. Well, again, if it was just in my mind, a fairy is like you know, Tinkerbell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wings.
That is no damn
fluttering.
What's that, Shane?
So that's no damn Tinkerbell right there.
No, that's not Tinkerbell. No.
No, I agree.
It's a runaway cheese curl.
Hey, Ike, did you see the Apollo video? Doesn't that look similar?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I kind of suspect a bug as well, though.
Really?
Is that up on Facebook? Am I able to grab that real quick and show it?
Did you put it on any other thing than Eichelberger Paranormal, Shane?
I did. It's up on Facebook.
Is it? Okay.
Hey, we could all look at that together.
Yeah, I see if I can go up there in a different window.
If there was a bug, though, you would see a flapping motion.
Right.
I would think you would see some downward motion. I mean, a feather is, I think, a little bit more towards what we're seeing here. Mm-hmm. But again, I mean, we're not Forrest Gump here. You know, there's no feathers falling on our feet.
Right.
But that's kind of the motion that it has. It kind of has a feathery motion where there's a current there taking it up and down. And the way it comes through the doorway and then comes back through, it's just so crazy. I mean, watch it come through the doorway. Oh, camera, got to get out of here. It's like it knows there's a camera there. And then it realizes, oh, I got busted. And now I got to leave. Oh, camera.
Right.
And that goes into another question I have. And this will be a discussion for later, I'm sure. Why do they always avoid the cameras?
I think they know.
I think it's the electrical field that the camera lets off. You know, they say electricity also feeds entities, but at the same time, I don't know what the difference of a camera would be or video camera would be. It could be the IR light itself, could hurt, you know, we don't know what kind of effects that would have. But yeah, it does look like it's trying to get away. You know?
It's like you turn the corner. It's almost like you going into a room and not knowing the boogeyman was behind the door, and then you see the boogeyman. You're like, oh crap, and it instantly ducks down below the camera lens, but you know the range of the camera.
He's more scared of you than you are of him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one. This was caught on a body cam. Same house. Very small, faint. Oh, let me turn on the sound because I do believe this one right here actually comes into play after a response on the ghost box portal. Don't know what else we call it. It's a PV7 on steroids with guitar preamps. So as soon as you hear the static, that's when it appears. I don't know if you were able to hear that in the background or not. Again, that one's pretty fast and goes through the camera pretty quickly. I'll play this one more time, then I have another one that follows right behind, another clip that follows right behind it. I can't make out what questions we were asking the portal at the time. The time goes up. And as soon as that one disappeared from the screen, you hear the portal again. So, any thoughts of those two quick clips? Too fast to really determine anything?
I think it's too fast. I mean, I see it, but I think it's fast.
Yeah.
And right behind there is a, it looks like it's one of our plasma balls.
Yes, yes.
Up in the top corner.
I got our pictures right here.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't see because I have our pictures. Yeah, that is a plasma ball up there going. So it's actually going towards the plasma ball. We use a plasma ball as a EMF.
EM pump.
EM pump, right? EM pump to put energy into the air. Instead of draining our batteries, it hopefully will go to the plasma ball to get the energy source it needs to communicate, manifest, whatever it is you want to say that they do. But yeah, I didn't realize that because again, I have these pictures here. But it does look like it's going towards that. I'm gonna go back to the first one because again, it's still up in the same corner, same position. And this, when it comes out of this room here, is going just below that, the plasma ball. If it was airflow, if you notice, one was going up, one was coming in. If it was airflow, it would be pushing the different, you know, the same direction, but they both came in different directions. So I don't know. Here it is right there, little small dot right there. Okay. Yeah, the next one here is the same location. This is a basement. This is one of the ones where we just can't tell if it's just a showering of dust or it's like as soon as I leave, I think it is over here.
So you see no dust right now. I mean, this is really weird. And then all of a sudden,
Right. And there's like a whole bunch of them. And it was like waits for us to leave before they come out. Because there's one as like go up the steps is over here. And then as soon as we get up the steps here, they all come out. Yay.
and it's interesting because in the same location, we had a pull string on a light down there
Yes.
that started moving on its own. Not in this frame, but
Right.
in another piece of evidence.
Down this hallway right here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And again, they look like they're staying away from the camera. It's like they stay over here and then they disappear. That's the one thing we didn't mention is how it stops right there.
Something over on the side, we can never figure that out. We have pulsating over on the side.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I thought that was somebody over there.
No.
Nope.
No.
I did want to ask, so once you got upstairs, the orbs started to show, but were you standing about the general area or walking about the general area upstairs where these orbs are starting to shower down and stuff?
It could be.
You know,
It could be.
where it does.
Yeah, it could be.
But I am curious about what that is on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, see it right over here now? See it pulsating over on the
Yeah, it's going up and down like that. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not figure that out. I tried to freeze the frame, like when did it come into the frame? Did anything fly into the frame? It just seems to be like whatever it is like on the other side of the camera just taunting us, so going, hey.
Is that where the string to the light is?
Yeah, well, no, it's down that hall.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
There by the water heater.
Yeah.
You guys, you see that pulsating that I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Tony, move your cursor over to the right.
Yeah, I have to move our pictures. I have the Zoom pictures right there.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and do that. You're going to have to move the tags now.
Yeah, right there. Yep. Yeah.
Definitely not a cobweb, I don't believe.
I mean, it's so weird. Like I said, I really spent a lot of time trying to figure out what that was, and nothing flew into the frame. I mean, if it was a bug, it could have been a bug, just like hanging out over there, or just sticking its butt out just enough to where it looked really bizarre. But
Great, we got mooned by a bug.
yeah, absolutely.
See, there's also a glare up here. Watch when I start showing, we see a glare over here. See right behind the 7.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a shadow of a leg or something right there. It might be it might be the banister there. But yeah, that's. I don't remember it being dusty. That house was clean. I even though that was a basement, went outside. That basement was pretty much clean, what I remember. And this is just before the pandemic.
This is the most haunted house I've ever been in my life.
Oh.
Yeah, Shane never really had personal experiences. I mean, he found things as evidence on our, recorders and video, but he never had a personal experience until this house. And Shane, you can get ahead and tell that story if you like.
Yes, Keijo and I were setting up recorders, microphones and cameras in the upstairs bedroom. And I was down on the floor and she was up high setting up the DVR camera because we never travel alone. We always do it in pairs. And clear as day in my ear, somebody whispered, "Hi." And of course, Keijo, being the braver of the two of us, she instantly said, "Hi, we hear you." And we caught it on our recorder, but we talked about it because we carpooled to this location. And Keijo said to me that it sounded like it was right in her ear as well. But I swear it was like somebody went up to my ear and just whispered, "Hi." Now it wasn't threatening. I didn't feel, but my brain was trying to comprehend what I'd heard. It was almost like I was in disbelief. Like, did that just happen to me?
Yeah.
I mean, Keijo, you got pushed in the back in this location too, right?
I just felt something touch me, and I turned around I thought it was one of you guys. I thought somebody had come up behind me, and I turned around to say what, and there wasn't anybody there. So that was the first time I had ever felt touched, like, you know, and it wasn't a push. It was just like a tap on the back, like, or tap on the shoulder, like just, and I turned around and there was not a person behind me at
Maybe
all.
trying to get your attention or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was definitely charged at the very beginning. I mean, I felt so
Yeah.
nauseous. But you said that just to kind of reflect back on that, you said it sounded like it said high in your ear as well, correct?
Yeah, to me it sounded like deep and gravelly, like how you wake up in the morning, a man's voice is kind of like rough before you start talking. It was like, hi. But then when we played it back, it was this light little whisper, hi. Like it was
That's what
so different from what you could hear in your ear to what you heard on the tape.
Yeah, it was the it was mind blowing. And I got to tell you, if you've never had a personal experience, I think in your mind you're thinking, did that really just happen? It's kind of like watching a car accident. That's kind of what I equate it to. You in your mind, you're like trying to put this together. Is this really happening? And I know we do this, we do this as a hobby, and this is what we're looking for. But when you have your first experience like I did this night, it was just, it was really exciting. And I think it's charged me up even more. But I got to tell you, we held our ground. I was a little bit more like caught off guard than Keijo was. But she has some serious lady balls that night, and she just kept going on with the questions. And I was just really, really impressed with the, just charging right into the dark room and continuing to ask questions of what was there. Of course, we didn't get anything.
We didn't get any answers.
But wow.
Okay. The next we have are pictures. I think all the rest are pictures. Ike, I'm gonna put you on the spotlight. The next 4 are your pictures. And I appreciate you submitting them to us. If you can explain the situation, what kind of camera you used, what you believe you caught. So here's the first one. Somewhere in here. Okay, there it is. Go ahead, Ike, can you see it?
Okay, this would have been
Seriously.
2012, I believe. Me and my sister, Devil's Den.
Gettysburg, by the way.
Yeah, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And we was having a very active night. It was the first time we ever went there in the dark. I didn't even know you could go in the battlefield in the dark until that evening. And so we were having a pretty good time, ghost box, some guy named Jeff Walker at sniper point at Devil's Den. So I go up to this cannon, and I say, come on, soldiers, hurry up. We got them, the enemy coming. Fire these cannons, right? So as I fire them, or as I say that, I get behind the cannon, flash the picture. And of course, this is the picture I gotten. Now, unfortunately, but I come back later, and I don't know if this is that. I can't say. It could just be bugs, mist. It was a September evening, not humid, not hot, not cold. It was a very nice evening, so I don't know. But by the time I come back, I go, and there's the dust and dirt around the cannons. I kick around like a rooster and everything, right? Trying to kick dust up purposely. Give it back and take the same picture, and it's not in that picture. So I don't know. Is that paranormal, or is that just?
What kind of camera was that?
Oh, it was a Kodak. Oh, it was a 12 megapixel Kodak. What did they call them?
Full spectrum?
I lost it by dropping it on the floor and breaking it years ago.
Wow. Was it full spectrum or regular?
Oh no, it was just a camera, point and shoot, flash, 12 megapixel.
That's an interesting picture. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know.
Like I said, it was right as I said. Come in, we got to fire this cannon, and that's all what I always kind of took it as, an explosion of the cannon.
Yeah.
It looks like snow.
Yeah, I was going to ask, did you take multiple pictures at the same time, or is this like
Unfortunately, I was very new in my paranormal career, and the Harris rule of 3 straight pictures did not happen. Sorry to say.
Yeah. It's
I
fine.
came back and tried to recreate and couldn't,
Right.
but unfortunately, no.
Um, preparing for tonight's, Zoomcast, podcast, whatever you want to call this series, I was looking up Orbs, trying to get material for tonight, and I found several pictures that look similar to this, where it's almost like planetary. To me, when I look at this, I'm thinking, you're looking up the stars and you're looking at the
Yeah, that's what I was
space.
saying. That was very
And
cool.
there's other pictures that, this is the first time ever seeing pictures like this. Usually is those things we were looking at in the videos where it's a shadow or it's a white, light beaming object floating through the air. This is when I first saw this one, and then when I went and did my search, I saw other videos the same exact way with, like I said, almost, like particles or planetarium. But this is very interesting. That's
Was that
why.
at Gettysburg too, or was that other location?
What was that question?
Was those other pictures that you saw, was that at Gettysburg or was that another location?
It was other places. Yeah, the ones I found weren't at Gettysburg. It was just other places. So that's why I was asking if it was a full spectrum camera. I just can't. It's hard for me to see a regular camera pick up something like this. But again, I'm not a photographer. I don't know what 12 pixels mean versus 50 pixels. I don't know the difference. So
That's a cool picture.
it
I like
is. Yeah. Here's some more. Here's picture number 2. And don't know if these are like.
Here, except that took pictures. They're colored, so yeah, this place is you can't tell it in there. It's like dark as night. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face, and that is the same camera. That would have been the same camera, I'm sure. Yes.
Is that Potsdam Manor?
No, this is the Gettysburg Wax Museum.
Oh.
Yeah, you can see a figure right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can zoom in on it.
There was no windows or anything, so when it was dark, it was DARK, dark.
Huh. Yeah, I again, I don't know if it was this light bulb on right here by any chance.
No, pitch dark.
Okay.
Pitch dark. You can't see nothing in there.
Right. You can see some faint ones here, like there's here. When it was regular size, you didn't see these other ones. Do you have a couple?
If this is near the John Brown, because that's the only place I ever had any activities near the part. It was kind of funny being down here. Is the one where the Wax Museum John Brown being took into, to being hung, is where I get most of my activity, and I can't tell in this picture if that's where that was anymore or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you can't see what's in the things just down the hallway.
Right.
But it's a door down there, so it would have been maybe. It might be around John Brown's thing because it starts there. That's one.
I thought it was interesting that there's several orbs. A few of them are red or red colorish.
Yeah,
and several blue. The red you can attribute to that, like that light or whatever. The blue, you can't. There's nothing. Where does that come from?
Right. I don't know. Like without being there, I don't know if there's lights inside each of these displays or not. I don't know, but I don't know if you would actually pick that up from this angle either.
Yeah.
There's another faint one here, another faint one over here.
Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker orbs.
Okay.
That's cool too. I like how it's almost like they're marching down that hallway.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Here.
I don't know if that was anything, but like I said, it was just a pitch dark place, and they were colored. So
same camera by any chance?
It was almost 100%. That was first time I went there, so that was still the 12 megapixel Kodak. Yeah.
That's a good camera.
Okay, here's the next one.
Eisenhower Bridge.
Another blue one. Look at that.
No, that's a bridge at the Catoctin Furnace. Yeah, it's probably just the color of the bridge, but it's a pretty blue one. So
that was in Catoctin?
What's that?
That was
Thermal Catoctin Furnace.
Oh, cool.
It's just a walk bridge.
Wow. Oh, there's two.
Yeah, there's a small one here. I don't know if that's another one that right behind it. I'm also seeing something over here. I don't know if that's part of the branch or not. You see this little mist around, mist around the branch right there. I'm pointing to it like you guys can see me pointing. But yeah, this one here is pretty bright. And then there's a baby one right behind it. Then you have this one up here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, I like looking at pictures, trying to see if I see anything else that nobody else seen. Good thing saying in the mirror, because you know I'll be really into trying to see if there's something else up there now. Okay. This is your last one right here, Ike. Let's see, I know we're getting past the hour time frame.
Oh, this was hard to say. And the thing about that, I can make this one quick. I actually know it's a pretty nice one, but it was during Christmas at the thing, and there was a guy up there with his flags, rebel flags, and they were putting it away, and he was flopping them. I'm almost sure it's probably with the dust off the flags.
Looks like it's snowing.
Yeah.
think this is the same angle.
That's what I think that was, because the guy was wrapping his flags up when I took those pictures.
I think it's the same angle, KJO, when me and you were up on top of there, and I thought I saw something in that window. Is this not the same angle, same picture? I mean, same building?
I don't know if it's the same building or not, but I know where you're talking about. Were you at the church?
Yeah, this would be at the church, right off on the corner.
Yeah.
Looking right down onto
Okay.
the street.
Yeah, that's the same one, Tony.
Yeah, I took one more during the day. The last time when we were there, like when Shane put together our meetup, and we were there, I took the same exact angle almost, and I was swearing there was something in the window. Again, it was still daylight hours, but they debunked me and they disproved it, said it was something just hanging in the room. But yeah, same exact house, everything. So I actually looked like it's snowing here. You said it was December. It almost looked like snowflakes, except for this one right here.
This would have been, and let's see, this would have been my one camera. This would have been the camera I still have, that Sony 15.1 megapixel. In fact, it was the first time I ever took it, because I just broke my camera right before this.
Wow. There's a couple that don't really match the other ones. These other ones here are really light, but so these, I don't know if they're the same as the other ones. We were questioning if it was dust or not. But yeah, that's a good one. Okay, I'm down to the last two pictures. This was submitted by another team. They're not on the line with us, but this was at, I believe, Crybaby Bridge in Delaware. Again, a large orb shape. Don't know if that's a lens flare or not.
I think it's lens flare.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. I don't know.
It's very
Orb is very close to the camera.
Yeah.
A cobweb? No.
Yeah, it could be that too.
I think I've gotten similar pictures like this before.
And then the last one is similar, the same exact night at a cemetery nearby. Different, I believe it was a different camera, but they caught the same type of thing right here.
Oh, that's different.
But they were more curious about these two red dots here versus this big, orb figure. I tried to lighten it up. I tried to go in here a little bit closer. I can't tell. I mean, I see a face up in here, but that could just be the pixelated of of how the picture came out.
I think it'd be bugs.
Yeah.
Or it could be some sort of community lights in the background. I don't know what's behind that. So.
Right. And some cemeteries, people put up those little flashing lights at different stones.
Oh, it could be reflecting off something.
I was about to say, it looks like there's a little stone there or something.
Yeah. So,
A little dome or something.
Could be a reflective tombstone.
Yeah. You're talking about this right here, Marvin, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Or Sasquatch.
Or Sasquatch.
That's for a different podcast. Yeah, I don't know. I do see something like a stone right here. And again, I know I drive by cemeteries and, I always have to make that glance. But then people put those little stakes that glow in the dark. And really throw you for a loop. So that it could be that.
Look, there's a third one because it makes a triangle. There's a third one down below.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. Yep. So that's all that I have there. Again, we're going hour 15 minutes now. I don't want to keep you guys, but any other thoughts? Any other? Do you want to go back to any other clips that we've already done real quickly? Do you have any other experiences that you would like to share?
No, from me.
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
one I didn't post. I would probably say you now was too late. Was the only time when we was at the Hoffman Mansion and my sister and my son, and I walk in the room, take pictures like I do, and they were getting K2 response. They were having a big time. I come in, I flash the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
They yell at me because the minute I flash the picture, the activity stops. And then, of course, I take another picture with that. Well, in my two pictures, there is actually an orb down around Ethan's K2 meter in the first picture, of course. In the second picture, after they accused me of chasing the activity away, there is no orb. So I don't know if orbs are, but that was kind of a coincidental kind of thing. When I walked in the room, took the picture on surprise, and they were getting K2 responses and then yelled at me for taking the picture because it stopped the minute I did. And the second picture I flashed doesn't have the orb down by his hand at the K2. So, take that for what it's worth. I don't know. Harris teaches us how, and most orbs aren't, so I don't know. It could be just a coincidence it was there when I flashed the first picture.
I think, I think one of the things we got to all keep in mind is we do this for a reason. We do this for research. I think everything is interesting. I mean, anything we collect evidence of all different types. We use all different types of lighting sources, all different types of equipment to break through, to try to figure out how to communicate. And I think that this is just another thing that is unexplained. And I think at the end of the day, I think we got to just keep that in mind and be open-minded and not instantly shut things down. I mean, some things are questionable. I think we all learn the 3-picture rule is the most important thing. That way you can somewhat show that the same night you took the picture that there was an anomaly with one picture and not the other two. But I think everything is, I think we shouldn't rule out anything. All of this stuff is just so interesting, and the way that we go about trying to capture it is fascinating to me. So that's just my thought on this.
I agree. Okay. Well, again, everyone, I want to thank you for joining us on the Paranormal Town Hall. Definitely going to be looking at the orbs differently going forward, more subjectively, and really trying to figure out its origins before jumping to conclusions, saying in one way or another. But again, please keep the email address that I had posted regarding. I will post that email address again with this video when we post this on YouTube and Facebook. If you do come across